What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Platform Beer Company, and they're headquartered in Cleveland, Ohio, and this is their Blue Martian. So on the front of the label, they're calling this one a sour ale with natural flavors, but on the side, it says overfruited slushy style sour ale, and then on tap, it says this one is brewed with blueberries, lactose, and vanilla. It comes in at 8.6% alcohol by volume, 19 IBUs at the time of review. This can is approximately 4.5 months old. And I'm gonna give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and fellow BeerTuber, Jay, over at This Guy's Thoughts, for hooking me up with this one. So big thanks to him for this beer. I will post a link in the description box to Jay's channel, along with the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he hooked me up with, and really happy he sent this one my way. Why? I like what Platform does. I've actually been to the brewery in Cleveland back, I think it was either 2015 or 16. Really nice spot. We do get slight distribution here in the West New York area of their beers. I've reviewed a handful on the channel. I dig their beers. They're solid. Specifically, though, this beer intrigued me because I saw Jay review it. I think it was in late 2019. He actually picked up a couple growlers of it, but the growlers were 16-ounce mason jars from a local beer store. And it was the first time I think Jay was introduced into the, as they call it, overfruited slushy style sour ale, slushy, smoothie, whatever you want to call it. And it kind of blew him away. He loved it. And then they released it in cans, and he re-reviewed it this year, a couple months ago, I think back in March. And he really enjoyed it in the can. Didn't like it as much as when he originally had it, but that happens a lot with beers and things in general. When you have it the first time and it's your first experience within the style, whatever the beer style is, then you drink it 2 or 3 years later. Sometimes it doesn't live up to the hype, but he still, don't get me wrong, he still really liked it in the can here. So don't remind that. Anyway, yeah, at the end of the day, happy that I have this beer, happy that he sent it to me, and I'm really excited to see what this one's all about because I like blueberry sours, and the overfruited slushy or smoothie ones sign me up. So we're gonna give this a nice pour. It's been kept cold the entire time, 4.5 months old. Should be fine because again, it was in my fridge, and this isn't an IPA hop forward beer. This should be okay. I got the bigger glass here to see if I can get them all in here. We should be fine. Now, this does not pour out like some of the crazy, smoothie style sour ales or slushy beers that I've had before where, you can see all the pectin on the side. It doesn't have all, it just looks like a lot of blueberries. So yeah, it has a dark purple kind of look to it. Murky, turbid, can't see through it. Just looks like a dark blueberry juice. Has about a finger and a half of a very light pink or even light purple, creamy looking head. You can see kind of some sheets of alcohol in here because this is 8.6%. And you don't see a lot of the big ABV slushy beers, smoothie beers anymore. You just don't see that, honestly. So it's cool to see a bigger ABV one. But yeah, that looks really nice. Let's get a nose. Oh. You know what that smells like? It smells like blueberry pie filling. So imagine having a blueberry pie, but just eating the filling part, not the crust, none of that. Just the actual filling. Sweet and tart blueberries, but they seem authentic, the blueberries. Or maybe even picture just eating the pie filling, but with like a little dollop of like whipped cream. That's kind of what I'm getting. Yeah, sweet and tart blueberries, nice, sweet, creamy, almost frosting-like sensation, or like I said, kind of like a Cool Whip. Yeah, there's a little bit of a sour kick from the base beer, maybe a slight graininess. But I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you and be like, oh, it's a super, in-depth and complex and blah, blah, blah. Sweet and tart blueberries, whipped cream, pretty much it. But it smells really good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Jay. So I can taste the alcohol, which is, with beers like this, most of them nowadays, you're talking 5, 6, 7%. They don't start approaching 9. I think the original release of this, Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the original release of this was like 9, maybe higher than 9. So they dial it down a little bit. But I can detect the alcohol in this one. It's funny, doing 450 North reviews, 2-3 years ago, and there's a couple of the slushy XXL that were supposed to be like 8 or 9%, and I'd be like, oh, you can't taste the alcohol. And then it turns out like those beers were actually like 2.5 to 3%. So this one, I can actually taste it. I believe it's 8.6 because it definitely has a booziness. The taste, I will say, the body isn't as thick as something that they call overfruited slushy. It has more of a medium, higher side of medium, which is fine. The mouthfeel, more carbonation to it, spritzy on the palate. It's smooth, a little bit creamy, but not overly so. The taste is very, I would say, one-dimensional, maybe two-dimensional. There's not a lot of complexity, but what they're going for here is a blueberry sour, and I think they've pretty much did a great job with it. Forefront, blueberries, sweet blueberries, tart blueberries. There's a little bit of like a tannic thing going on. Pass through the palate. There's a slight sweet kind of vanilla kind of creaminess that approaches the palate. Underneath, there's this like grainy, generic kind of malt sensation. This drink's firmly tart as opposed to straight on sour. It finishes with a nice balance of the sweetness from the blueberries, the like tannic kind of acidic kind of feel from the blueberries and the base sour, and then like a mild bitterness. It's not really bitter all that much, but there's a little bit in there. What I appreciate from this one, it's not overly acidic. I don't think I'm gonna have heartburn after I drink this. Some of these can be way too acidic depending on the fruit they're using. And like halfway through the can, I'm just like, oh, I'm done. I can't, like, time out, right? Not with this one. I don't think I'm going to kind of struggle. Here's what I'll say. And I always keep it honest with my reviews. This is not blowing me away. It's just not. But what is here is nice. I think they've done a really good job with it. They're basically going for a blueberry sour, right? On the side, it says, no, it's a blueberry vanilla tart. Yeah, if that's what they're going for, plus, how do you not like the can? It's Mars Attack, I think, right? I think that's kind of what they're going for. And it has like the smoothie for the brain. Instead of the brain sticking out, it's like a smoothie, blueberry slushy. It's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, I'm not blown away by it, but, you know, I could see a beer like this when Jay first originally had it. And I do think the one that Jay originally had was more thick and kind of slushy-esque. Something like this in 2019 sticks out more so than it does in the middle of 2022. That said, I do enjoy this. It's solid. Despite the lack of complexity, I think they've nailed the blueberry and vanilla kind of feel. It is tart, not sour. I'm going to drink the rest of this and have really no complaints about it, other than maybe I want it to be a little thicker and maybe more complex. But I don't think this is, like bad or anything. This is actually pretty damn solid, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm going to drink the rest of this. I appreciate Jay sending it my way. Really fun to try another platform beer. I really like the can, like the logo, everything. The artwork's fantastic. So Blue Martian from Platform. I can't go crazy high on this one. But I'm going to go straight 4 out of 5. I think that's what it deserves. Really good. On the side here, it says contains lactose, keep cold, drink cold, which I did. And yeah, not much more to say about it. Price and availability, I have no idea. This is where you chime in. Jay probably mentioned his review, but again, his review was like 3 months ago and I didn't go look at it again. I probably should have. But Jay, let me know what you paid for this. You know, nowadays, I would imagine something like this is probably $5 to $6 a can. That's kind of what it is in my neck of the woods if you're talking about these smoothie, slushy kind of beers. But if it's cheaper than that, kudos to them. But, you know, like $5, $6 a can, that's kind of the going rate, I think. And availability, I have no idea. Like I said, we get drips and drabs of Platform here in Buffalo and in Rochester, so the Western New York area. But I haven't seen their stuff in a while, so I don't know if distros kind of drying up from them or I'm not looking hard enough, but I know I 100% have not seen this beer or anything in a 16-ounce can from them. Usually it's 12-ounce cans. So Jay, let me know if you know their distro and how far out they get and whatnot. So huge thanks to Jay for this beer. I appreciate it, Jay. I do apologize for not getting this one sooner. My channel went on hiatus for about 6 weeks, and I didn't drink beer for a couple months. So this beer, when he sent it to me, I think it was like 6 weeks old, 5-6 weeks old. So a bit older now. It happens. But anyway, I appreciate it, Jay. If anybody out there has had this beer before, let me know what you think about it. Like I said, 8.6%, it's noticeable. I can tell you right now, this is, if I was doing this blind, I guess at least 8%, if not like 8.5 to 9, so right in that realm. Little bit of warming in the chest, a little bit of booziness on the palate, but it doesn't distract me from drinking the beer. This beer almost gives me like wine-esque kind of vibes to it, where it almost has like a blueberry wine type of feel. Not to that extent, not that boozy, but like you can taste the alcohol, it's fruity, kind of in that realm, but it's still pretty damn good. So anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by. To the next one, cheers.